Hi, this is Mrs. Finnegan again, and we're going to look at question number 43 in the Semester 2 final review. And what we're just asking you to do is to factor x squared minus 13x minus 30. Now, since we have a coefficient of 1, you could take the shortcut, thinking about what numbers multiply to give you a negative 30, that also add to give you a negative 13. I'm going to show you kind of the mathematical way to do it, and that would be, and you can use this method regardless of what coefficient you have in front of x squared. So what you would do is you would multiply your x squared term and your constant term together to give us negative 30x squared. And then what you're going to do is you're going to list out all of the factors that would multiply to give you that. So 1x times 30x, 2x times 15x, 3x times 10x, and 5x times 6x. Now, since the 30 is negative, that means one of my terms has to be negative as well. And ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the terms to add together to give us negative 13. So if I look at it, 30 and 1, no. 5 and 6, no. So those aren't going to be what we're going to use. So it's really a debate between 15 and 2 and 3 and 10. So one factor has to be negative, one has to be positive in order to have a negative 30. So if I made 3 negative and 10, if one of those was negative, I would get 7. So the only way that I can get a negative 13 is if my 15 is negative and I have a positive 2. So we're going to use these two terms. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my original quadratic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace negative 13x with the two factors I found. So I'm going to put plus 2x minus 15x minus 30. Okay, so because 2x minus 15x gives me negative 13x. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk it so that I look at the first two terms together and the second two terms together, and I'm going to take out the common factor between those two terms. So the first two terms have an x in common, so I'm going to remove that from those two terms, and then I'm going to write in parentheses whatever is remaining, so x plus 2 is left over. My next two terms, they're both negative, and they both are divisible by 15, so I'm going to take out a negative 15, and so if I divide each term by negative 15, I get x plus 2 as well. So at this point, hopefully what you have is two terms where the parentheses match. X plus 2. Alright, so we're going to take that x plus 2 out as a common factor, and then whatever is on the outside is going to become its own factor, so x minus 15. So that is how you factor a quadratic.